All right, click the button.
Click the button.
We are live.
It's that magical time. Welcome to the Bro Show Live. Red is unmuted. We are ready to roll.
Muted. Can you hear me?
This is other.
Are we playing that post from the show?
I was trying to do it before it was showtime, but I was muted digitally, not analogically. Analogically, I'm unmuted.
No, your audio is awful, actually.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
All right. How about now? Is it when I'm not?
It's a little better.
Okay. See, if I like barely graze the mute button for some reason, like I'm barely grazing the mute button.
Oh,
don't graze it. You got to get some contact cleaner.
No
bro.
grazing.
No grazing. No grazing.
Contact cleaner.
Contact cleaner. It's not a touch screen scope. This thing's as old as the dino eggs
electrical
you sit on.
Yeah, the spray shit.
Anyway, welcome guys to the show. We had an eventful pre-show. It was 30 minutes of me trying to get my camera to work and my green screen. So it looking like shit is all my fault.
It's giving him fits over there, guys.
Pre-show.
Tell him he looks nice. Tell him he's pretty.
We have a pre-show for 30 minutes every week, Red. We're just never here.
We've been doing it for what? How long? A year and a half?
I just slides in 30 seconds before we go live.
I'm always at the farm until about 30 seconds before we go live.
Yeah,
I tried
25-ish. But yeah, Red. We usually do have a pre-show. That's when we do the
check
audio stuff and like
we
go over like what we might talk about.
Look at the love you're getting sequence.
Oh, you do sound checks too, don't you?
Yeah, we go over stuff like that. So like we red leather, yellow leather it up in the pre-show.
Oh, you do that in the pre-show. I see how it works now. I see what the pre-show is for.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Red. Red, where can everyone find you?
I guess I'll lead us off. You can find me here on the Michigan Bros Grow Show Sunday nights. Here we are. You can find me on Monday nights.
Directly afterwards, too, Red.
Well, yeah, I was going to stick with the Michigan Bros Grow Show for the moment. Let's go Monday nights, 11 p.m. with Skilbo, Painted Lady, Spartan Grown, Sequences Avatar. Also, not to be known as the Wizard of Michigan Bros Grow Show, the floating head in the background. So, or the voice in the background, not to be confused. Sunday nights, here we are. It's Sunday nights, 11:30 p.m. Catch us on Behind the Veil. Skilbo, thank you very much for joining me the last couple weeks.
Yeah, man.
See if your pretty face wants to hop on board tonight. It is the eve of Bicycle Day. If anybody wants to hear some
stories, tell the story, dude.
Farm, yeah, we're gonna go a little Bicycle Day. We're gonna talk about Mr. Albert Hoffman and all of his fantastic, let's say, discoveries that he's given the entheogenic plant medicine community.
Right on. Check that out at 11:30.
Polarity Science, please.
We'll link it and stuff after this.
DOG wants to go outside.
Red, do you have a premiere set up yet?
DOG does not want to go outside. DOG's staring at me from across the room, whining. Just staring at me and whining. There I am. I'm
Did you set up a premiere yet?
I did. I set up a premiere.
All right.
I actually even tested the stream. I entered the wrong key link at first, and I had to kind of redo it all on my own. So I'm sort of figuring it out.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Yeah. I even had the visual was all up and everything, and now I know that I just need to.
So I've done that before, Red. Imagine the scenario you were just in.
Stop video. Make sure
at the middle of the pre-show at like 9 o'clock when you try to hit the go live and it's not linked correctly, and then you got to kill the call, get everybody back in as fast as possible, and then start the show late. Yeah, we used to do that. That's all.
Got you. Nice. Slowly learning.
Yeah. You're doing it the right way.
Yeah. It's been received very well. I really appreciate everybody who's tuned in, followed along, who's helped just kind of grow that side of the community as well. And I want to thank you guys here at the Michigan Bros Grow Show for your support as well. Thank you guys very much, man. You're all wonderful, beautiful.
I want to thank you for being the only person that can say the name correctly. Let's move on. We'll talk more about your show later.
Michigan Bros Grow Show.
Michigan Grows Bro Show.
Spartan?
Grow Show, bro.
Grows Bro.
Can you guys shut the fuck up?
What's up, guys? I'm Spartan Grown.
Where can everybody find you, Spartan?
You can find me on Instagram at Spartan Grown, or you can shoot me an email, spartangrown@gmail.com. Or you can find me all over Instagram, man. Not Instagram, all over YouTube. I'm a YouTube lurker.
You're all over the internet, dude. World famous, Spartan Grown. He's got a strain and other things. So check him out.
I was a pheno hunter for a strain. I wasn't the maker of the strain.
He's a big deal. Just check him out, Spartan Grown on Instagram. He's a big deal. Painted Lady, thank you for joining us. Where can everybody find you?
Cheers, guys. Happy Sunday. Cheers, chat. Everybody can find me right here on Sunday and Monday nights at the Michigan Bros Grow Show and on Instagram and Cannabis at Painted Lady Gardens. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for joining us. Abolish, Miss C. Welcome back, guys.
Well, thanks for having us back. I know we're a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes.
No, you're always welcome, dude. Always.
Abolish Farms, you can find me butt chugging around YouTube at Abolish Farms and Abolish Aquatics. And you can also find me on IG at Abolish Farms.
Hi, everyone. Miss Cantaloupe. You can catch me on Instagram. Nice to see you all tonight. I'm excited to hang out and got to hang out with Sequence earlier. That was really nice. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, we smoked like 4 blunts in an hour. Abolished is a blunt rolling mastermind. Kept us all stoned. It was nice to see you guys as always. Nice to see you guys on the show. Skilbo, what do you think, dude?
I think we're ready, man. It's 6 after. I'm Skilbo1 on Instagram, Skilbo17 on YouTube here. I hope that everybody is having a good night. You're able to hang out for a little while with the smoke. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the chat. Speaking of chat, since my learned friend Red Leather Farms forgot to mention it, make sure you switch over to live chat from top chat to get the most out of your chat experience while you're with
I had
us tonight.
so many other words.
Yeah, he's trying to mention all of the other things.
I have so many other. There's additionals. Oh my goodness. I was gonna actually say
we're warming up, Red. We're warming up.
I might have to roll something.
Not even started yet.
It's 6 after. We always ask him when he's not rolling.
You got to move
Go back
these
through all the
parties to a Sunday. I work on Saturdays, and I have not been able to make any of these Saturday gatherings.
I feel your pain, dude.
We need a Sunday gathering. One of these.
I used to be that guy.
Red, I'll do anything to see you.
As long as you have a street clone in your hand.
Maybe I'll throw a Sunday gathering here in the Ann Arbor area. How about that?
I'll do anything, including drive to your house. I miss you, Red.
We do that twice.
Yeah, I'll do that twice. I've been there once. I'll do it again.
Do it again.
He didn't take advantage of me the first time, and I was so disappointed. I was like, "What the heck? Am I not pretty enough?" But
yeah, right, dude. You paid $50 for those trays.
Yeah, I did actually.
No,
all of my flood trays that I got from Red, actually, they're
dude, I forgot all about that. That was like last summer.
And he gave me a super good deal.
Maybe the summer before. It was a little while ago. I think it was last summer. Finally got.
I'm just gonna take my stairs out to get them in my basement. That's the plan.
How are those trays holding up for you?
Really good. I used them in my flower room all the way up until I moved here, and now they're in the garage. I have to take out my basement stairs to get them down the steps, but I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, they're big. I believe we had to take the cap off the truck to get them in the truck. It was 4-foot trays, inside diameter, outside diameter, like 4.5, almost 5 feet wide. They have an edging that's just ridiculously wide. I don't know if it's for.
It's worth mentioning, actually. So, like, if you go to buy 4x4 trays, like these trays, for example, they will not fit in a 4x4 tent. And that's something that a lot of people wouldn't know until they do the research. But the outside diameter is like 50 something inches and they won't fit.
Yeah. Always look at those little letters at the end of the size designation. If it says ID, OD, ID means inside dimension or diameter, depending on what it is, outside dimension or diameter, depending on what it is. But yeah, if it's an outside dimension, that's going to be the interior of your tent or grow space that you have available. And that is somebody walking their dog by my house.
ODOG.
Welcome, Stabby.
What's up? Sorry, I'm late.
I won't make you do an intro. I know you're not interested in that sort of thing.
He doesn't want anybody to know where he's at anyway.
Well, I just heard that you're looking to get taken advantage of, so I hopped on.
Thanks, dude.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'm gonna do a dab so that I'm in the right mood.
Take that back.
Chat.
I got to shout out everyday Mary Jane.
Get yourself nice and loose.
I was threatened that I needed to show this on the
show. See you, yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude. It's sitting here like a fucking OG.
That's sweet.
That's a nice one.
That's a pretty
everyday Mary
foo-foo, roach clip for you.
She about choked me
this?
yesterday regarding these clips.
Oh, I don't know if I can get that one to focus, but
Dude, I almost can smell the fucking patchouli from here.
I fucking love this.
You're looking like such a hippie.
I love the fucking colors in this one though, man. It's so fucking.
You need to get some beads for your beard now.
That actually
the
would
silver
be fucking
ones?
cool. Yeah,
Or crystal ones.
right down
Crystal
here.
ones.
Yeah, that's a good
stronger,
idea.
Stronger fucking grow, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I could totally see you rocking out some fucking crystals or beads in your beard, or
So
even one of
the-
those canvas
Harambe.
leaf.
So no joking aside, the function of that is to hold the strands of your beard straight. It's like a straightener.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, what strand is that, man?
How long until you give up on aluminum-based deodorant?
Space Gorilla.
Aluminum-based deodorant. I don't use deodorant very often, but I don't know. I don't have
See,
very- I
already.
just use Old Navy. Or no, what's that? What's the one in the red? The red one's the
Old
one I
Spice,
use. Old
yeah.
Spice. That's the one I use.
It's got aluminum. It's one of the things that hippies do is they get rid of aluminum deodorant. It's like the first step.
Oh, have you seen
Nobody
those,
wants
like,
those unsightly stains under your underarm shirt, man. Come on now.
Dude,
We don't
have
want
you
that
s-
aluminum.
Oh man, have you seen those like natural stone deodorant roller things?
Yeah, the salt ones.
Yeah.
You put just the stone?
Nice looking stones, Red. Where'd you find these?
Petoskey.
Nice.
These are some gem shop down the road.
These from
Local
Amazon,
gem shop.
Michigan.
This was found up
Amazon.
not too far off the Asaba River. This is falsite. This is lightning. This is I found this in some sand. This is from a lightning strike. Very cool stuff right here. Some falsite. Lightning glass, natural lightning glass. Got a couple nice little pieces of this bad boy that I actually pulled. But this is just some clear quartz I've pulled from a almost pretty. You can see my eye through this one. Nice, almost translucent clear quartz. Amethyst and some stuff. Hold some charge, give them some intentions, and let them magically infiltrate your lives.
Where do you put them, Red?
These ones just throughout active spaces of the home, areas that I'm typically in, or that maybe other people may have been in and disrupted the energy.
Yeah, I'm not big on the like crystals and the pots theory, but I wanted to put them like around my dab station and stuff because like visually the feng shui improves my mood.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to make my dab station all like
So I feel like
honeycomb theme.
Yeah. All of my dab stuff is honeycomb theme, actually. My pendant that I broke is honeycomb theme. And my dab cap is honeycomb theme.
No,
I want to have beads
it was
someday.
It was that other thing that you showed in the chat. You dropped in instead for your concentrates. You put it in the banger. What's that called?
The diamond knot. I'll look it up.
Yeah, man. That thing is pretty fucking badass.
I'll do a dab with it here in just
It just creates so much surface area for your dab to like smolder on, or
Yeah,
for
if you ever want to do a dab that puts you out of commission for more than a couple hours, this is the thing.
It's like
That doesn't exist for me.
a weird honeycomb structure
does.
inside your banger that just adds so much surface. It's like putting a little lava rock in there with a whole bunch of porous holes in it. So you
Very
can
nice.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
I mean, I don't take little dude size dabs. Like I'm not doing a half of a half dab or anything like that, man. I do some pretty big dabs, and like the most I ever get is the
little
sweats.
dabs. You got to do big dabs because it takes a big one to even utilize the thing very much. You can't really see it on camera
For that.
Yeah, I've seen those though.
I've
seen them before.
Yeah, you got to use like a quarter gram just to be able to
work for me.
cover.
Sequence.
I saw people using those. What were they, like a
Skillboy, you're
recycler?
breaking up.
Yeah, Skillboy, you were breaking up.
But I said it just wouldn't do me any good because I mean I just take those little booger size fucking dabs, man, and I mean that's got some serious surface area, and I noticed that it really kept its heat the whole time when you kept going back into it. So
Yeah, the
it was
little
pretty sweet.
dabs that you get no use out of this thing. So like when you're sharing them with anybody or whatever, or even me, 9 out of 10 dabs I won't use.
Stick with your nectar collector, Skilbo.
Can't do quarter gram dabs all the time.
Well, you can, just not for
What
as
is
long
this,
as
Red?
you have that.
Do you sit on that one?
Sit on that one, yeah. This is orgone. Okay, this is a man.
That really gives you a lot of energy, doesn't it?
Yeah, some wacky, wild scientist back in the 70s discovered that if you stack all these different types of crystals and include some metal shavings like copper, this has a little meditating guru and this
The
thing here.
meditating
I
guru
believe
is
this
not
is
centered. It's bugging me.
oh, it's not, dude. It
It's
drives
not
me
centered at
crazy.
all. I'm
It
like, what the
drives me
fuck?
nuts,
It's
you know. But
killing
you know
me. You
what?
got to turn it away.
I really, this was found in an antique shop, and I'm curious that this might actually be original orgone from that era.
From the Great Pyramid.
They're rough.
Came right from aliens, dude.
From the
From
Great
the
Pyramid
aliens
itself, man. That's the keystone on top.
Yeah, that's right from aliens.
The bizarre part about this is that it's supposed to draw in negative energy and release positive energy, however you may want to intend that to be. And I brought it home, put it in my house, and within a couple of days, the very last of my let's just say just some of the last lingering memories from my ex that was just kind of lingering in the house magically got moved out. One of my patients who's a friend of
Needed some
family,
white sage, man.
yeah, came and asked for her varsity jacket, and it was really bizarre. It was like kind of one of the last lingering things kind of chilling around the house. Within only a couple of days of having this thing in the house, she comes by and this is a strange story because the word varsity jacket hasn't been spit out of my mouth in years and years and years, right? Well, I'm talking to my mom and she's talking about cleaning out a cubby hole, and she's like, hey, I found some old, I was on a hockey team and we had a couple of different like community style, varsity style jackets. So I have a few of these varsity style jackets, and she's like, I have all these varsity jackets of yours, I'm gonna do something with them and just keep them up in here until we can donate them or figure out maybe have kids give them to them one day, blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're having this conversation of varsity jacket. It wasn't more than 24, 36 hours later that a patient comes by who's a close friend relative of my ex and asks for this varsity jacket that had been lingering in a closet downstairs, collecting, dust in this closet for the last 6-8 years, however long it's been sitting in there. And then just within the last year shouldn't have been in this house, you know what I mean? So I've come across it once or twice, told her about it, haven't been able to give it to her or anything like that. Sure enough, man, bringing this piece of negative energy moving, I don't know, call it whatever, man, call it a piece of fiction, if you want to. It is what it is, but it's just very coincidental that got up and
should have thrown that negative energy away like 5 years ago.
He should have brought that.
I have more.
I have. You needed that for the pre-show sequence when you were fighting that camera, man. That'll take that negative energy off you.
Yeah, I have more respect for her personal belonging. Obviously this is now all of a sudden she wanted it back, right? So definitely don't want to create any more negative energy than what I already need.
How dare you darken my doorstep?
That's just more
justify it to yourself. You're like, you're using one of my hangers in some of my space and really killing my vibe. I'm throwing shit away.
I should have charged it rent, I suppose.
Yeah.
I could just tack on
rent in your head,
rent,
spirits.
Well, you kind of lost your leverage already by giving up the jacket.
I gave up the jacket.
Yeah, you did.
Can I give a shout out to Old Time Rocking Grow? Thank you. Welcome to the show. Thanks for becoming a Growski.
I got to here and just highlight this comment in chat. MFKA says, are you listening, Red?
I agree.
Because this is excellent fucking advice next time. If you have any more of her shit, the advice is to fart on her stuff, then give it back.
In third grade?
And she'll get pink eye too.
Yeah, you might get charged.
Yeah. Make sure you
contacts,
give her those pillowcases back.
Warfare?
Here, make sure you get these pillowcases back. You can get some pink eye.
Fart on her pillowcases. That's how you do it.
So, I don't want to derail the conversation, but if you guys want to talk about growing,
I guess.
It's 20 after. Why not?
Oh, dude. So, I set up everything in the butt chug style, right? And it's just been going fucking gangbusters. Like it has been going nuts.
That's what we expect.
Well, I always knew the validity of a dual root zone system, right? Like I've known and visited Potent Ponic Steve's farms before, and like I like old school hempy buckets too. That's another dual root zone system. I get it. I understand the premise of it. To me it's like a upscaled earth box essentially, where I've got like a water reservoir in the bottom because I've got such a thick layer of hydroton. I did like 4 inches in my trays, and then I did I've got 5 7-gallon pots in one tray and 4 10-gallon pots in the other. So it's working out pretty good. I got some Mac S1 that's it's like start of week 3 of flower, and it is all frosty as fuck already. It is looking really good.
God Bath Music asked, butt chug equals sub irrigation, I take it?
Yeah. The Michigan Bros Grow style. So or like abolish style, Spartan style, you know. I think everyone on here does a little bit of variation besides
we all
Skilbo.
we all kind of have our own little, just like all our grows, even they're all their own tweak, our own take on it. But yeah, sub irrigation so good.
I always wanted to use trays under my no-till beds when I had them, but I just made like a makeshift trays out of Panda plastic, right? Like I got the heavy duty Panda plastic, folded it so that the corners were folded up, and then stapled it at the top to a frame so it could actually hold water if I did happen to overwater my beds, or like one of the blue mat drippers malfunction.
Change it frequently?
I left it in there the whole time I had my no-till beds in there, so like 3 years.
I found that it's not super durable, that Panda film. Like even using it on walls, occasionally you'll.
Yeah, it wasn't moving at all though, right? So like it was, once the beds were in place, it was there. It wasn't going anywhere. But I definitely like the. I got some Botanicare trays now. I'm digging those. I got some from a buddy on a trade. I gave him some clones. He got me a tray, and I happened to scoop up another one when I was making a trip to Costco.
It's a good deal, trading genetics for a tray. That's even a better deal than I got from Red.
I hooked him up and he hooked me up. You know, it was a buddy deal. Both felt good at the end of the day, I think. I mean, I would have given them the clones anyway, but I was like, hey, you know, I could really use a tray.
I got to hook Baked up with a couple of cuts Saturday at the party. He got apple fritters and GMO from me. I'm excited to see what he does at his house with those.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing, is smoking this GMO that I pulled down, man. I'm so happy with it. So happy.
I still got to get Sequences Crescendo. I want that.
I've got it,
I
man.
liked
It's
it.
still
It's been
growing
around.
nice and healthy.
Peach Crescendo, I'm going to recommend.
Yeah, I have some of that actually. Shout out to Meds in the Country.
Rasta Bob gave it the thumbs up. I'm going to say that one's okay.
Yeah, man.
And Kingfisher asked about my solo cup. Kingfisher, check out Rasta Jeff's 420 show that I believe is dropping
419 at like midnight
tomorrow.
Sequence.
I was gonna say,
and I joined for a minute and I showed the solo cup on that. So I'm not sure what's going to be edited down. It might make the show, it might not, and hopefully
I'm sure he's just going to edit out everything I said.
And yeah, she's doing really well. She's almost done. I checked the trikes the other day just by taking a photo, and she's got some amber trikes already. So I think she's going to finish earlier than I thought. She still has some clear on top though. So I think she's going to be done pretty soon.
You smashed that grow, man. That is a beautiful structured little plant and a nice yield for just a single solo cup. Great job.
Thank you. I had no idea. I mean, it's the first time I've ever grown it. He sent them to me as little testers. So I just was like, screw it. We'll try that one. And I got really lucky with the structure in that it was perfect for that little solo cup. And yeah, I liked it. It was fun. And actually, you know what? My friend was over today and her mom, I cut her mom some clones because her mom grows. And her mom was saying, you know what you could do? You could package those as like little gift packages for people, like tie cellophane around them and decorate them really nicely and like fucking charge like $200 for a nice little solo cup. And I was like,
Put some rolling papers in there, a grinder.
Yeah, charge $200 for a nice lip balm with a solo cup. gift.
With the free plant.
Recreational gifting
Yeah.
program.
If you want $200 solo cups, shoot me an email.
But yeah, I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was kind of cute for somebody that's crafty. I'm not.
It's got Miss C's attention down there. She's like, I could do that. No, don't shake your head.
Miss C,
You could get
is
super
good at
foo-foo
layouts,
with
man.
it. I got like a million ideas off the top of my head of things you could do to decorate it, types of ribbon.
Stabby, stay off of fucking Pinterest, man.
Oh, see, I'm not marvelous at all. I can't.
I'm an artsy craftsy fartsy kind of guy. I mean, I love.
I knew that when you told us about how you were folding panda film up to make a ghetto kiddie pool to catch that.
Hey, I'm one of those kids who didn't really have parents around, so my grandparents raised me, and like my grandparents used to do like handcrafted gifts together for people for the holidays. Like my grandpa would do all the woodworking, my grandma would do all the painting. And like I got into like painting like 40K miniatures and all that kind of stuff when I was like preteen.
Figured you're like really into crocheting and stuff now. Like real crafty.
Yes. No, but I'm sure I'll pick that up when I get older. I mean, I have odd hobbies, dude. I grow plants indoors, man, and I fucking have isopod
I know, it's
pets.
a good point. It's funny being the one that can give like my mom plant advice when she's killing all of her shit. Just like
stop overwatering, Mom.
Ladies at church. Oh, because they're all killing all their plants too.
We do things like obsess over pumas.
Yeah. I did want to chime in.
Call me Big Pump, man. That's a throwback to the old shit.
Yeah. I did want to chime in though about Rasa Jeff and Ira Genetics and everything. There is actually a contest starting on 420. They are having the Pringles can challenge. You can enter two cans, so two genetics if you want, two of the same, whatever you want to choose. It has to stay inside the can for the entirety of the competition. You can get as creative with it as you want, but the roots cannot.
Will they survive?
Like you can't. Well, we're gonna find out. But the roots cannot like intentionally grow out of the can.
Like break down.
You are allowed to reinforce the can, however. So however you can think of doing that. I've seen some people using tape. I've heard of some people wanting to like lacquer the inside of it.
Bro, you should just use a tennis ball container. You know, like the thing that holds like 3 tennis balls. It's already plastic and shit.
Now
it has to be a Pringles can. It has to be the dimensions of a Pringles can. If one of those isn't the dimensions of Pringles can, you can't use it. If you want to somehow make an insert out of that, go right ahead. I heard there's a guy who's going to do like a crack key style in the can. So I don't know how he's going to do that, but it should be interesting. We have like 40 entries so far. So it's going to be a good competition, and there are some unique prizes available. I will put that out there first and foremost. The entire rules set is up on the Irie Army Discord. The link is out there. And
it's a cool contest idea.
All the rules are pinned in a separate channel.
I think getting to meet Stabby should be one of the prizes.
Is that
Smoke
a reward?
Down with Stabby. Well, you can decide who gets that prize. That's the.
It's like when you do fantasy football, the last place guy gets like a special reward.
Smoke Down with Stabby.
I will tell you this: all the rewards are in Trailer Park Boy names. Like
Cash coins.
No, like there's the
Bubbles.
Fuck, I can't even. I would have to pull them up. Yeah, Bubbles is one of them. So like Bubbles is like the most or the Grower's Choice Award, the person who like grew in the most unique way. But there's also like the Ricky Award, so like the one the plant that yielded the most, the biggest, the
saddest plant has an award.
So yeah, there's pretty much a listing for everything. There's also a suggestions section. Honestly, man, I can't give Graybeard enough props for all the work that he puts in over there. Guy has no fucking life.
Mr. Leahy, the Leahy Award.
What was that sequence?
Corey and Trevor.
It's a tough break for whoever wins the saddest plant award.
That's why I didn't enter.
I'm excited about it. Usually I don't partake in like growing competitions and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But this looks to be good. I made some initial suggestions on like the rules. I was like, we should all okay, like whatever packs you're deciding to pop seeds from, like your entry is the remainder of that pack. I thought that would be a pretty cool idea, like growing for pink slips. You know what I mean? Like the winner gets to keep the haul. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to do anything that crazy, but they did come up with, I will say, some unique prize packs. You will not be disappointed if you were to win this.
I know that when we did our cup, we announced like the top 4 positions and then none of the rest of them to like, shield people from shame or whatever, announcing however they finished publicly. But it was a bummer to tell the people that finished poorly when they asked their results. They were bummed out, of course. So yeah, it's cool that there's some trophies and awards for people that don't do well.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who's going to be like an official judge in this competition, because obviously since there's people joining from all over, it is going to be mostly a photo contest, right? And you're going to have to show certain proofs, like how much it yielded at the end, and you're going to have to either enter a short video or at least picture evidence of no putting your thumb on the scale type thing, trying to keep it all fair.
What's that? Dave says no blue mots. I'd be surprised if stuff like that is a restriction.
I don't know, man. If you can get it to work with a Pringles can, I wouldn't see why not. But there may have been updates to the rulings. But
I mean, if I were to do it, it'd be automated for sure.
You kind of have to, right? Yeah. Are you going to be able to be around enough to keep that thing watered without having it in like a butt chug system, which that is
some
specifically
people can.
Not allowed.
Some people do like the solo cups.
I'd keep it on a slow drip gravity.
I got a day job though. I'm gone for like 14 hours at a time.
Put a 5-gallon bucket on a milk crate and let that sucker slow drip into a little valve.
I agree, Beelzebub. Winning isn't everything. It's just all there is.
No, yes. I agree with Beezel because I didn't push that's one of the things that Russ and Jeff kind of made fun of me for on the show the other night, because I was like, I didn't really push her that hard. I knew I wasn't going to win. I went into it thinking I was going to, that I had a chance and a shot, whatever. But, once I saw all the other entries and I wasn't pushing, I wasn't feeding her down there like every 2 hours like I could have been. I just kind of wanted to see what she did. And I've fed her like a couple times a day, and that was cool. And Shredder wanted to know what I fed her with my blue and yellow bottles. And Shredder, I run like the deluxe line because I go directly through the West Coast distributor. Part of the Bloom crew. So
deep dive.
Well, not like that. I didn't mean it's like a dick. Jeez. I just mean like I get the shit cheaper so I could use more things. So, but I would recommend if you're looking to try it out, like their bases, I do their grow A and B and flower A and B.
What I like is your plant's not all burned up. And when you're growing in such a small medium like that, you don't want to slam it too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do that. Okay. And then I really like their sea mineral line, which is, and their humates. So the sea fuel and the seaweed and the sea minerals. And then once they get to that certain point in flower, I really like fat and ooze. That's it.
I did look up the awards real quick, Skilbo. The Corey and Trevor Award is for the saddest, most bummed out grow, as voted on by everyone who completes the challenge. Award to be determined.
That's a great.
Actually, that's a great category. Way to vote. Is to have all the competitors vote. That makes sense. What an intelligent way to do it.
Yeah, like I said, man, Graybeard's been putting in a lot of work over here. He's got a whole big post about it. It's like several paragraphs long.
Sweet.
If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Make sure.
You guys in the chat, Beelzebub. We're going to have Caribou on the show tomorrow in the late sesh. And these guys are going to ask them some questions.
And Uncle Rick will be here next week.
And Uncle Rick will be here on the Sunday show from Caribou Show next week. So we're really excited to start getting them in the loop. If you guys haven't seen their show, I definitely recommend it. Beelzebub, if you're in the chat still, if you could drop your show times, that would be perfect. A good time to do so.
Dude,
he's
confused.
blushing in the chat right now. I thought we were having him on this show. I didn't realize it was a late session we were having him on. So welcome to the late session, guys, tomorrow night.
And I'll be hanging out with them on 420 on their show. So everybody make sure you go sub up and hit that bell.
I think I'm on the 11th.
See, Sequence, this is why he needs to come to pre-show earlier, doesn't he?
I just don't understand.
He's just fucking tardy, man. Damn.
I don't know.
Oh, Miss.
But we're going to have them on both of our shows, depending on availability and what days and stuff like that. But we'll have them in.
I got a chance to finally talk with Beelzebub, and shout out Beelzebub, by the way. He invited me on Caribou on May 11th, so you'll be able to find. Shout out the May 11th show. You'll be able to find me on there. Thanks, guys, for inviting me on.
Oh yeah, we got to get Prophet on a Monday show of ours. That's all I know. So let's link that up. Prophet, Beelzebub, Scobo Red, Spartan, and
I think I'm
Lady.
also doing the Mother's Day show, the Caribou Mother's Day show with Prophet's mom.
Oh shit! Oh, you gotta tune in for that, man.
I'm pretty sure that's still happening.
When is Mother's Day?
Can confirm, please.
Yeah, he just showed up in chat, so
yeah,
let us know in chat, Prophet.
Let's hope that's happening because I got lots of fucking questions.
I want to get Indica on a late sesh too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yep, lots of those guys. Cool. Check out their show for sure.
I just, Dr. you pointed out, and I do have to give credit to Billy Podunk as well he's an Irie Army Discord mod, and he pretty much conceived the Pringles can challenge. Sorry for the mad child in the background.
So when is the start date on that?
The start date is on 420. You cannot pop your seeds until 420, so don't even think about looking at them until 420.
There you go.
The flip date is on 6/1, just so everyone knows. There is a set flip date so that we can try to keep the challenge on track. You do not have to pop your seeds on 420. You can, wait a week if you want. You can wait 2 weeks if you want, but the flip date will be on 6/1.
Right on.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever sign up for a contest like that. I hate people telling me when to do shit.
It's just fun, man. It only takes up the footprint of a Pringles can, right? Like that's nothing.
Fun to some people. I can see that. It's just not fun to me.
All right. We had a question in the chat earlier that said, how can a grower be organic if water is considered inorganic? And what standard is being followed by the industry? Is it the USDA organic requirements? So I would say that part of it is that organic is just a labeling system. So the same requirements that you're speaking about in the second part of the question don't apply to water. So that our side of the argument is different.
Yeah, so what you're saying, like they're making an argument that the word organic, the definition of the word organic,
right, water's not considered organic.
Yeah, you have to look at definition 2, which means a labeling process for whatever we're talking
like
about.
Water is OMRI organic, or OMRI is kind of the standard that most growers
I was going to say
use.
OMRI is what
there's a ton of them, CDFA.
Yeah, DEM. There's a lot of different ways you can be organic and different labels you can put on your stuff. But that's all it is. It's just a label.
It's a huge mistake in the organic community. Just don't worry about them labels and shit like that. You're gonna paint yourself into a corner and probably use something that would be good in your grow, or wouldn't use something that's good in your grow just because somebody said it wasn't fully organic or it was shipped across the country, so that's not organic enough for you.
Oh, come on.
It gets pretty zealot and it's a little ridiculous.
Remember, we had
if you want to go totally organic, you should be harvesting your own IMOs,
KNF shit. Yeah.
Like you can gatekeep it really hard depending on who you talk to about organics. So rather than have that argument with everyone, I would adopt the show's approach and just be inclusive to all those ideas.
And inquisitive, right? Exactly.
And just do it as much as you can or as much as you want to, because it'll drive you crazy. And then all you're doing is just trying to apply some label to your grow that only matters to the people that enjoy that label anyway.
That's the super interesting thing, because let's face it, the thing that's going to drive even labeling, let me back up. The only reason a commercial facility would want to pursue a label like that is if they could command a higher price for their product to compensate
if it's
for the
marketable
extra steps. Right now, I can tell you in the market right now, they do not charge more for organic over synthetic wheat. It's all the same price. In fact, you don't even know if it's organic or synthetic. I can tell you it's synthetic.
And which one costs more to grow? Commercial level.
It's almost like food. Like you have to really
which
watch
one
labeling.
Takes
like,
more labor? Which one takes more?
What does all natural really mean? You know what I mean? So we can get stuck behind words, or we can try to focus on processes.
We do sell two different kinds on the shelf at New Standard. We have specifically, nobody else markets one way or the other. Apothecare is one that does market organic, and I take that back. Redbud has some organic products also.
Redbud,
and they'll put organic on the tag.
But does that change
you're more likely
that you guys have to buy it for wholesale?
That I have no idea. I do know that in the past, some Apothecare products probably topped this chart on price, while others might top chart on potency. But then again, there has been instances where even stuff like Mint and Canico was 70 and 8th, just the same as Apothecare. I haven't seen anything more than 70 and 8th, but since the mass surplus that we've encountered this year, commercial cannabis flower surplus, the prices have dramatically dropped. I mean, we're seeing eighths as low as like probably $40 an eighth right now. A lot of those $70 top tier eighths, even the organic, are scaled back down to like $60.
Wouldn't you say that's kind of a new thing though? Because I would say even like 5 years ago or so, before everything went super commercial and the caregivers were still around, the dispensaries had a decent amount of organic stuff available on the shelf, and it was almost $5 more a gram in some cases.
Well, I think that the dispensary will charge more for it to say organic on it.
I agree with you.
The question is,
are you going to know
more?
Yeah, that's my question too. That I'm not sure of what the growers are actually charging, but I also know that some synthetic growers also claim organic as well, and it really has no bearing. All it is the grower telling the dispensary whether or not it's organic or synthetic, and there's plenty of growers that are telling the market that it's organic when really it's just hydro grown.
I think in most places it's just typically not marketed that way. You're more likely in the cannabis market, at least, to see a solvent or solventless label than an organic or synthetic label. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that really only applies to the concentrates.
I always thought that too, man, until there's actually a little round tag up in the corner of like the tags on the shelf that says organically certified. It says certified organic on it, which I
haven't been in a dispensary.
Who is certifying it's organic?
Exactly.
What's the certification?
Who's this overseeing panel? Yeah, man.
Well, and then I would
nonetheless, it's a seal. They're putting an actual seal on it. You know?
But I can put a seal on shit. Doesn't mean it's backed. There's no federal agency that's going to back it for sure.
Right.
And so it's not going to be the federal organic. Whatever. It's not going to the general organic FDA, that certification. You're not going to.
You know that. I know
there's no regulation there. So
we all know that. The general consumer doesn't know that.
Exactly.
But what you do know is the difference between solvent and solventless, because that's on every package. If you ever see resin, that means it's ran with solvent. If you ever see rosin, that means it's solventless. So you don't have to see those words, but every package will be labeled exactly like that.
Do you know how I finally figured out how to keep those two separated in my boomer mind? Was that rosin has a 0 in it, like an O, so it has like 0.
There you go.
There you go. It's the easy way I remembered it.
That's a good enough way, but that's the easiest way to tell. They will all be labeled. It'll say live resin, cured resin, live rosin, cured rosin, solventless diamonds, et cetera, et cetera. It'll all be on there.
Yeah, it's just how people shop, right? Like most people who are shopping for cannabis aren't they're not really wondering, I wonder if this was grown with
buying a name, man. You can't smell anything anymore, so you just buy a name and, and a preconceived notion of what that should be through word of mouth of
well, it
other
also
people.
depends on what state you're in too. Like some of the southern states, like I know for Oklahoma, for one, you can still like smell the product, and the bud tender will hand you a
You don't think there's a huge demographic of hippies that are like not interested in having synthetic cannabis? I bet there is.
Oh, absolutely, there is.
Just like the huge demographic that will not dab anything that was solvent,
Yep.
Just by.
Hey, man, I know guys who won't dab solventless. Like Rasta Jeff doesn't like to dab solventless. My buddy Stony Scholar, he didn't like solventless. He was solvent all the way.
Why would they be against solventless? What was the kick on
solventless? Makes your nails all dirty. So if you use like dry sift and stuff, you have to have a different banger than you'd use for BHO.
Okay.
BHO doesn't have any particulate in it, so it's a lot cleaner on your glass.
Yeah, and just from my personal experience from having both, because I make my own rosin, and he made his own resin concentrates, primarily diamonds and sauce. And I will say, doing a fresh frozen run with like BHO extraction in a closed loop, man, you can really capture a lot of terpenes that way.
You can for sure. I love them both, like rosin and resin, both very, very good. Especially, you can find people that are experts in both methods, right? And
oh yeah, for sure.
Solventless rosin isn't $80 a gram or more for no reason. It's obviously very, very good.
Like my dabs that I make are nowhere near Pedro's quality or like Dan's quality.
But then the same, like a lot of those hash guys will look down on butane dabs just because of what they're made of. And I think that they're missing a lot there. And I know people that wash hash that have the opposite opinion, that would say that it always has more terpenes, which I think is interesting. That butane has more terpenes than solventless, which I think is true, just by the nature of how it's made.
Yeah, honestly, because you're using heat in making rosin, right? So you're going to be flashing off. You're going to be losing something.
I think dry sift would be your best bet to retain the most.
Yeah, in theory, dry sift wins. I agree.
Yeah, especially if it's like a especially if you do like a fresh frozen and then do a sift off of that and capture those frozen gland heads that haven't had a chance to dry out or oxidize or anything yet. That's it's very terpy stuff. But
all of the live processes, so both the resin and the rosin, are just absolutely the best that I can speak to. So keep on doing what you're doing. I see you for Growly in the chat. You do an incredible job. Dro, you do an incredible job. You guys do it completely different.
Yep, I agree. And thank man Dan.
Both incredibly well, Mad
I never
props.
thought about it like that until tonight. That like the reason why the BHO seems to be just a little bit louder is because it's done cold, right? And it's kept inside a sealed container, like everything's trapped.
Yeah.
Yep.
The process that it uses strips more terpenes from the plant because it's a solvent than you're going to get just by washing it with water.
It's actually melting the just a picture in your head. The BHO, when you're putting the BHO through the column, it's melting and dissolving all the trichomes.
It's like cleaning your bong with ISO,
So then you just drain it. You know what I mean? The plant material stays behind, and you've got all the.
You actually need to have like an inline de-waxing cone, and you want to have stuff like that so that you don't get all the lipids and shit in your collection vessel.
Yeah, like Growly was one of the first people that I seen getting the high terpene numbers in all of his testing early on before anybody else was, So he did a really, really nice series. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. There's a lot of older videos on there. He used to do a lot of good stuff on there. Oh, he's teasing me, talking about lime, skunk, and Durban poison tomorrow. Yeah. Cheers, brother. That's going to be the ultimate wake and bake right there.
What is he going to call it, though? So I love the names that he comes up with for these combinations of strains that he makes. So I'm curious what he's going to call it. For Girly, we got to get you back on the show again soon. It's been a little bit.
I'm about to go hide out Lime Skunk for Miss C. She loves it.
I love that one.
Find us a Sunday night.
So I got a cut of skunk beard from a DGC member, and it's really limey, and it's super terpy. I actually pressed some of it yesterday, and it won't fucking I can't get it off the parchment paper, man. It's so gooey. You know what I mean? Like I almost want to let it just sit out and let some of the terps flash off so I can actually get it all off the paper.
You do enough of that and you won't press flower rosin ever again. It's actual torture to do. You press hash like one time and it's in a million times. Like you take one thing and you're done. It comes right off the paper. All of that is a construct of pressing flour, and it's torture.
I've been going real low on my temps. Like I've been pressing at like the 160 to 180 range.
I used to press flour, man, and even with marble and a freezer and all of the shit, like it's still hard as hell to collect.
Yeah, that's what I got. Is I got a big chest freezer, and I need to get like a cold plate or something. But I was just putting the parchment paper on top of frozen Mylar bags full of weed.
Restore your cookies.
Yeah, that's my cookie stash.
Yeah, man. I keep having to mute up because I hit this GMO and it's just like, woo, you get a little carried away with it. You got to be careful with it, man. Yeah, man. Ooh,
up that long.
I got this anxiety boosting. It's
called Pisces.
Well, it's called Pisces, but it's actually a Skunk Hero RBX by Ethos. It's that Lemonade. I've shown some of the boxes before. They have their lineage tag and everything. So I always end up having to look up the lineage on these lineage tags because it'll tell you exactly what the lineage is, and then by doing that, you can kind of figure out what the heck the original strain actually was. Because what they do is it'll actually there'll be some of their line will end up just being rebranded a name. In this case, there's a Zodiac line. In the last one, the strains were conspiracy theories. So this is Pisces. They had an Aries. There's an Aquarius. The Aquarius was like almost 31% THC. They had I want to say a Taurus that was a lemon haze, super lemon haze. And I believe that it was the same cross that they did. What I had was like their Watergate conspiracy or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was the same.
Yeah,
cross.
and that was a different ethos, another ethos.
Another ethos. So I'm got Lemonade's really got a handle on some ethos gear for sure.
I think they got the multi-pass, man.
Yeah, they might be
Somebody
working.
let them in on the secret. Dude.
I have a multi-pass, guys. Yeah, man, they're definitely growing some fire. If you want to check out anything, we literally sold out of these guys within like 3 days. They came in and these were actually some of like $45 eighths we were rolling with because they were just on special. But I mean, this is a $55 eighth, some like 30%, reasonably grown stuff. Yeah, those guys, give those guys a shout out too. I'm not doing too bad. Market, there's definitely a handful of growers out there. Mint and Canico, Lemonade are probably, from what I've seen, top two with like some of the more rare strains. Apothecary is definitely up there with all three, with all probably is like a triage.
Red, do you know if you guys got any of our white truffle?
We're sold out of you guys at the moment, man. Yeah,
6 minutes to hashtag.
I don't know if we have a load getting ready to go out or what, but or when the next load's coming in. But we just sold. I think I want to say Platinum Jelly was the last thing that I saw from you. Platinum Jelly and like maybe Delato, and I might have an eighth of Delato sitting for 20% off because it's the last bag in the building.
That GMO is long gone, right?
GMO, yeah, we got GMO by a different vendor at the moment, but we do have their GMO in True North concentrate form. We got their Han Solo burger, I'm pretty sure, in their True North concentrate form.
Tell them, Becca.
That's fire right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a couple. Another
drop
cherry.
Yeah, she's
drop cherry too, Spartan. in true North concentrate form. That's a saucy. Yeah, it's a saucy nug run.
That'd be a good. I was gonna say that was our last run of that. We just nug runned it all to them.
Spartan, what are you guys cutting down this week there? Any harvest that's new?
See.
Or just some runners?
Yeah, we have one coming down. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I don't remember, bro. I don't remember. Because we just took down. Yeah, I think our last one might have been a GMO. I think our last one might be GMO that's hanging right now.
You definitely smell that, man. Fuck.
I got a question for you, Sequence. Have you done any jar tech with your rosin?
I have not. I didn't. So I've only pressed rosin myself. Flour a bunch of times back in the day. Very low quality. And then I did some hash pressing more recently, but I didn't do any of the curing or anything for it. I just did cold cure, that sort of deal. Dro does a lot of curing experiments. He's in the chat right now.
I want to do some jar tech, try to make some solventless diamonds.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man.
He's been trying to do it a couple of different ways, and he's not had any success yet. So,
well, I've got an extra plate. I've got an extra plate for my low temp plates where I could just set it up at 100 degrees and leave the jar on it for a couple of weeks.
He did that. He got basically a jar of syrup instead of a jar of rosin, but it never crashed out.
Interesting.
An additional plate is very versatile. Now that you mention that, man, you can do a lot.
Yeah, I'm really glad that
use it for your email.
I'm really glad that I accidentally fucked up my first plate that I got, and that I bought from someone with a lifetime warranty, and they just sent me a brand new one. So yeah, really stoked about having that extra plate now. I'm like, oh shit, I could use that for stuff. Wasn't even thinking about it at first.
Dro says the jar caps keep popping.
That's true. He's been having trouble with the lids popping up and then losing seal.
Yeah, because you don't want to flash off all your terps with an open lid. If you didn't have it cranked down.
Well, they've got them.
What about?
There has to be a solution. There has to be a.
Which kind of?
You can get regular metal lids, like a regular, not like the 2-part
all one piece
ball lid. You can just get a 1-piece lid and try that.
Maybe get a little rubber piece.
Oh, the lids are popping. Oh, dang. That much pressure?
Yeah, it's making pressure for sure. He's got pictures of the lid popped up.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, they do have
Looks like a bad canning experiment.
Did they have those lids that have burping mechanisms on them?
I don't think you want to keep the pressure in there.
Yeah, you don't want it to burp.
You don't want to release.
What if I got an idea? Because they sell these mason jar sealers. What if you pulled a vacuum on it before you put it on the heat source, so that it starts under vacuum, and when it starts building up pressure, it kind of equalizes?
I wonder if that would hurt the effect, because it might need the pressure to crash out. I don't know how that process works.
So Dro says in chat that he hears the tricks to not tighten it too much.
Yeah, you would want to leave it.
You have to have some kind of a burp. Maybe there has to be.
Or maybe you can vent it then.
Tighten it down and then back it off a quarter turn or something.
Yeah, make some way to burp it at a certain pressure.
Just drill a hole in the lid.
That's what would be ideal, is if there was a customized lid with a.
You could drill a hole in there and
put a
quarter-inch check valve.
Yeah, you could put a 1/4-inch line with a check valve on the end that you could set however you want it.
There's people doing it, so I'm sure there's an easy solution.
Pressure valve.
Yeah, why don't you just copy what other people are doing, bro?
They're not telling.
Find out the exact PSI it needs to sit at, the proper PSI, and then get a pressure valve made for it. Customized pressure valve.
1 minute to hash time.
Jar.
I am so high right now. I can't wait to hit this hash. And
Soil Cat asks about the plastic non-leak lids. They are not non-leak lids. I have some. They're good, but they leak a little bit.
I have some of those too. I haven't used them yet. I got a bunch of shit stashed away in the closet right now. I do a bunch of food prep with. I got 40 pounds of pasta and going full prepper style, man.
It's a weird
pounds. Jesus.
Is it in green packaging? Really shiny and thick plastic.
No, it's all wheat elbow noodles.
No, it's good. No, I got penne because I like penne noodles.
Bougie like that.
You have 40 pounds of penne noodles?
Yeah, man. Dude, who doesn't?
Fuck?
It doesn't. That's too much storage space, man.
Give me a variety.
Fuck that. What the hell?
Hashtag.
Hey, you can make some baked masticholi. You can do it with some meatballs.
What is this, a wedding going on here? We get some masticholi and shit.
Yeah, sometime this week I'm gonna spend some time with the woman. We're gonna portion them all to make portions. Just grab one and make dinner with.
Just drop it in a thing of hot water.
Questions, chat, while we're doing our hash time here, while we're lighting our torches and all of our smoking apparatuses.
Accoutrements.
Apparati. We will answer your questions afterwards.
This would be a great place to have a commercial break, right? Tell them what they've won, Red.
Well, you've just won a fantastic amethyst, and also not giving away my organ. Oh, here. Oh, the magical best green spool.
You're not actually giving away stuff, are you?
No, I'm not actually.
Is that your toothbrush?
This is for what's happening right now. You guys brought me into this.
Hash time is happening.
We were actually just looking for penne. Thank you very much, Stabby. You stirred up the kitchen for some penne. And we ate so many penne that we're out of penne. So no penne.
I got more.
I've got 39 more pounds.
Penne, and I will ship you 3 spoons.
But yeah, man, I got like the oxygen absorbers and everything. And I'm not trying to be like some alarmist or prepper or anything, but you know what if there's like another
you are
panic,
prepping though.
Oh, yes, I am being prepared. Because if there's another, panic at the supermarket and everyone buys up all the toilet paper, you know what I mean? I just want my family to be prepared and not panic.
I have water in the hose. I'll spray myself off before I worry about fucking stocking up thousands of fucking pounds of toilet paper.
I'm not stocking up toilet paper. I'm stocking up like food supplies.
Good all the cabinets in my house are full of dollar store napkins, dude.
I already fucking.
My beehole is
so red, but that's all right.
You guys are late.
Red's got a time delay. He comes at
I didn't hear the bell. Did the bell go ding?
Yes,
so
sir.
My next.
What the hell's going on?
You never hear it anymore. Are you
Brad? You're in a different.
I don't know. I got
Red.
I got to get your guys' opinion on
something. Pick the ticket up on the window, Red. Come on, I'm picking the bell.
I
get the
hear
food,
this
man.
Time.
Hang
on. I don't know. I'm getting there.
It's like PTSD. You can't hear it anymore.
Hang on.
You guys block that shit.
You guys are laughing at me and everything, but what you don't realize is this is the roundabout way that I get the wife to agree to me buying a freeze dryer, right?
I can't complain at you too much. You got the best kind of noodles, but I wouldn't have gotten 40 pounds of the same one.
Well, I got oxygen absorbers and all that stuff.
Sequence, are you more of an angel hair kind of girl?
That's my. I agree on the food. I agree on the
food.
The freeze dryer just for food saving. If you have a garden, I mean that's an easy sell. You would think.
Yeah.
Like, look, we can.
Oh, I'm gonna have a massive garden this year.
I've been wanting a freeze dryer specifically just for food, fungus, and a couple of other things that I can like really ground down and like.
Oh yeah. You know I've got a giant chest freezer downstairs right now full of a little bit of weed and a whole lot of breast milk. And I was trying to tell her, I was like, hey, you realize how much money we could save if we freeze dried all this breast milk and we weren't spending, power on keeping it cold and stored?
You know how much money you could make selling that on my OnlyFans?
No doubt.
You should just sell it. There's a really good market for that.
Yeah, there is, and she eats really healthy too. But she's just trying to get a year's supply worth, and then she's done. She's like gonna give her boobs a rest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, amazing things you can do with a freeze dryer. Basically, cryogenically freeze all your nutrition in time. Eat it later.
Yeah, it preserves like 98% of the nutritional value of your food.
Yep. It's like living food. When you eat stuff alive, you're getting so much more nutritional value out of it.
You know what I love about it? You can eat so much freeze-dried ice cream. It's like eating
it's like being an astronaut, man.
6 whole tubs of ice cream at a time.
Have you ever had freeze-dried weed?
No, but
I heard about it.
It's amazing.
Tried an experience.
We heard it was the opposite. We heard it was like super harsh and real chlorophyll.
Then
so we got
it wasn't done properly.
With freeze dryers in this.
What's your secret? What's your tech?
Well. You can't ask me. You would have to ask Tanazi because Tanazi did it and it turned out fucking amazing. The only drawback is it makes it virtually unsellable if you're trying to grow it for a profit because it removes every bit of moisture out of it. So
Shouldn't
it
have weighed
weighs
at all.
fucking nothing. Like it's feather light. It crumbles super easy. And when you light it up in the bowl, it's like a fucking match, dude. It just goes right up. But I'll tell you what, if it's
What
done
part
right,
of it's incredible?
Let me ask you
it's
this, because
super
I've heard
smooth and terpy, man. Like it preserves
that was
so
my
many of the
question about the
terpenes.
terpenes, because I heard that in theory the terpenes would evaporate. So in this scenario, the terpenes don't actually evaporate; they just
No,
get
it smelled like
frozen in time.
it's smelled like the plant still growing. You know what I mean? Like
Awesome. Okay.
it smelled super good. It was super terpy, but there was no weight to it at all. And like when
So
you
what I
burned
heard-
it was like fucking.
What I heard was a very similar experience, except for you kept the chlorophyll taste and all of that.
I didn't get the chlorophyll
bro.
taste, but I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe if I had a more refined palate, I would have detected it. But what I detected primarily was all the terpenes that it preserved.
I haven't smoked it, so I can't say if your palate, whatever. But that's what we had heard like a couple years ago. I'd be interested in trying it.
All right, so I gotta ask you guys a question. I don't know if you saw. Did anybody watch the GML show at all Friday?
I did not.
We had a guest on Craft Farmer who you should follow him on Instagram. He's fucking he's a fucking cool dude. Anyhow, he's got one of the products that he's got on his page. Actually, can you give me screen share? Let me hold on. I can try to find it real quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
go ahead, dude.
But what it is a it's like a fog machine.
Oh yeah, you were
And-
telling me about this Saturday, right?
Yeah. So it's like this fog machine that it's got like it looks like an IV bag inside of it. So a little bit of fluid. And okay, here I found it. Let me see if I can do the screen share real quick. Boom. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. So this guy's cool. Anyhow, he's got a private page. So you gotta request him, but I'm just gonna fast forward the video. And so you can mix in, like he mixed in silica. He's done xylitol. He's done Sanidate. He told us he's done Lost Coast plant therapy. And for his Lost Coast, he said he put like 15 mils is all he used in this Lost Coast in this little fucking bladder with the fluid that was in there. And it was enough to smoke out his whole fucking room. And that bladder, he did his room 3 times with that. It's like, if it is effective as what he's saying, here it is. See, there's the unit in front of him right now. He's between tables, those rolling tables.
Good looking unit.
Yeah. And if it's effective as what he's saying, you'd think it would reduce the amount of like product that you'd have to use every time. Look, he's got the little key fob to start it up, so you don't got to be in the room. So how safe is that?
Oh,
You don't have to
nice,
worry.
yeah.
You don't got to worry about
No matter what you're using.
PPE, all the
Just don't breathe this.
Yeah. And what it does is it's like a smoke that holds in the air, like it sits in the air. So it's not really even adding heat. I asked him, I was like, is it adding heat into the air? He's like, no, it's just like a smoke that kind of lingers in the
It
air.
almost makes me think of like the old style sulfur burners. That's not what it is, but similar in the way that
Right.
it just gets in the air and just covers everything. Yeah.
Look at this.
That's kicking it out. You said that's only 15 milliliters? Shit.
Well, there's a 15
Right.
milliliters in the solution.
in the
per
solution.
gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the solution
pretty
thing's probably
sweet.
ounces. But yeah, look at that. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
and 30 seconds is all you have to run it to fill
Everything is
to
coated.
produce enough smoke to fill the
Just
room.
invite me over. I'll blow some sick clouds.
Yeah.
He's vaping.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's like he stole Porch Farmer's logo almost.
I know it. That's what I kept thinking of.
It seems badass to me. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna tell the guys at work and see if we can get one in there and see how it does.
For sure.
Like in like a home grow space, I don't know. I'd be concerned about safety a little bit unless you got a really nice sealed room, because especially if you're doing a pesticide or something.
Oh, true, yeah.
But he was saying like there's no like pressure adjustment. You just adjust the time because it's just letting out a smoke. So it's just how much time does it take to build up enough smoke to fill the space. So like he said, in a big grow room, like what he had there was like 30 seconds, but like in your typical couple light grow would be like 3 seconds. And
Yeah, geez, that'd be way overkill then.
yeah. So that 15 mils in that thing, you could do like half a year's application probably at a home setting. If you had a nice sealed room, I would just do it like in an outbuilding or something to be 100% safe.
So how much would a machine like that kind of make me think I'm going to pay for?
Was this IPM? Is this IPM?
Yeah.
Or is this
and foliar?
He used foliar. He used it to foliar too.
Anything.
Oh, with your plants in the room.
But it's nice not to be able. It's not clogging.
For spraying like your plant therapy and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, beyond that, think about all the fun you could have with that thing. Pranking your friends, just putting straight water in that, let them walk down the hallway, or breast milk.
Skunk Man says that the bladder is 40 ounces, so there's 40 ounces in there of liquid.
And John Boy says it's $3,200.
Yeah, $3,200.
Shredder is more close on the 30.
Just a drop in the bucket, dude.
That's what the obstacles to this is, man. Yeah, the obstacles sometimes are just the tools.
No, I'm thinking. This is a commercial setting. I mean, think about it, man. You got to. It would take my time in a room, maybe an hour, a little bit over an hour to do a spray in a room, down to 30 fucking seconds
in and out
in a room.
I don't make $3,000 an hour yet,
dude. That you times that by how many guys have to spray? How many? We have 6 flower rooms. We have a fucking.
How many commercial guys are in the chat?
Two veg spaces.
I mean, it's an awesome product.
Dude,
awesome product.
I would. If I had an outdoor grow, I'd use that motherfucker.
If I had $3,000 though, I'd buy a freeze dryer first. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You can pay for everything else afterwards from that, right?
I would buy a freeze dryer first, but that's a sweet tool.
I'm just saying.
Definitely one of the.
Just saying, one outdoor plant would fucking buy me one of those.
It's like my turpometer. It's like the bougie version of something else that I could have used, right?
Yeah,
but it is very, very, very nice.
You could get some waterproof fans and like an industrial atomizer off of Amazon and a 27-gallon tote from Home Depot and make that thing for about $200.
But that's not the same thing at all. You're using gallons and throwing gallons into the air with the atomizer as opposed to that thing that's fucking ounces.
You can have a little pump setup and a timer.
It's not even the same thing at all.
Somebody needs to take one of them, like the thing is the paintball grenades or whatever, and fill that full of IPM and throw it in a room and see how that does.
You don't want to do that because they come spraying out of their velocity. The paintballs would fuck your plants up.
Aaron, when are you going to realize nothing's a good idea unless Stabby comes up with it?
No, I'm just saying, like, that it's a cost prohibitive item for probably 90% of the people listening to this.
Well, I would either use it really nice.
Plant, okay, I'm just going to be real. If you can grow one plant outside, you can pay for this fucking machine. You tell me there's people in chat that can't grow one fucking plant outside. Is that what you're telling me?
I can't.
It's not a common.
You got to plan ahead, man.
I'm just saying priorities, man. I'm just saying priorities. That's the thing. People don't want to save. They don't want to.
Today's hard work leads to
tomorrow's
kick-ass toys.
They want to worry about what's happening tomorrow instead of what's happening fucking for the rest of the whole fucking grow. You know what I mean?
Got to worry about what's in the flower room, man.
Yeah, if you can jump ahead in steps. You know what I mean? If you can miss buying a backpack sprayer and miss buying a hand pump sprayer and miss buying a hand sprayer and miss buying whatever's below that and go right to the end, you've just saved fucking how much fucking money way down. I know it's not for everybody. I understand that.
I have a grower's graveyard of things.
I think I would rather buy the really nice like backpack sprayer than make my own version of this sprayer.
You could buy
your size.
You could buy a backpack sprayer and the freeze dryer for the cost of that sprayer.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is I would rather have the backpack sprayer or have the nice sprayer. I wouldn't try to make it myself and have some half-assed version of the nice one. I would
correct
one or the other.
If I'm at that level, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah, and I can do it right with the backpack sprayer and use my time. Or
dude, the one Spartan has kicks ass, doesn't it?
But the thing is, why this particular thing I'm excited, and I understand the price tag, but the thing what makes me so excited about this thing is the fucking time savings. The time saving is like astronomical time savings. It's not. We're not talking fucking. Oh, this is a hand pump sprayer to a fucking powered sprayer.
Well, it's not an astronomical time savings to a 2-light grow. You're in a commercial grow. It is. There's a big difference, and we're talking to a huge audience of home growers.
When you've got 6 rooms and you can move this device into each room and get it done, it's
Yeah, but we're talking about the difference between spraying for 3 minutes and spraying for 3 seconds. That's not that big of a deal to a home grower.
Right.
But the coverage is different too. It's like fucking
for sure.
between a dunk and
it's
a fucking
micronized.
spray.
Yeah, the droplet size is way better.
It's gonna be, and it's gonna hang in the air. So if you have like a flying pest, it's still gonna get fucked up. It can't even fucking escape it flying away. It's just amazingly more. Like I said, I haven't used it, but I'm really hopeful.
When we were using your sprayer with ISO and plant therapy, I thought that I could light the air on fire. There was so much ISO in the air. So I wonder if you could even use ISO with a machine like that.
Yeah, that would be a questionable thing.
Your fans would probably catch your room on fire.
Well, hopefully the fans would be off when you're putting that thing on.
It's wild.
Well, what else should you be cautious? Like, wouldn't there be like flammable botanical oils concentrated in some of these?
So no, I doubt it, because like soybean oil and stuff mixed with water is not going to be flammable.
So there was a couple of those questions were brought up on the show, and what he said is that he just talks to the inventor. The guy's from South Africa, and for everything, that new thing that comes up, he just sends a message to. I doubt he calls him, but he sends a thing to him and finds out, hey, well, this is the ingredients. Is it going to work in your machine? And then he gets back and lets you know. So I would, if you're questioning about any other kind of a different type, I think sulfur was one that somebody brought up or wanted to bring up and he didn't get an answer to. Or no, they asked him. He said he has to ask because somebody's wondering if they could put like a wettable sulfur through it. I'm really questioning.
That's a good question
because you'd think it would be too granular for that, but I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Cheddar Bob is asking us about temperatures and how can we do this and jump it up in our grow rooms if you want to use heat treatment.
What's the question?
I put it in chat. Yeah.
So you want to seal the space as best as you can. Outside of that, heaters. You got to put. Right. I would use radiant heaters and turn off your fans, but do it while you're there. Because, the first thing I would really caution is if you're in a home setting and you're going to get something really hot, I wouldn't get very hot. Once you're getting up over 90, 95, plastics are starting to melt. You know what I mean? And there's even like plastic on wiring and stuff I don't know what all the melting points are and everything, but I've seen plenty of pictures of melted fucking oscillating fans and melted, things. So in a home setting, I'm really sketchy on that tech, but maybe you could get over 90, 95, probably okay. And you can just obviously do that by keeping your lights on 100% and turn your heater on. Like a little space heater or a whatever. And it's going to get warm. It's going to get warm. I would just also only do it for shorter periods of time. I wouldn't want to do much more than an hour. And after that, get it back to a normal situation. That's my best advice, I think.
In the greenhouse, we did with super high humidity. We're talking like 90% humidity, 100 degrees for 24 hours. Killed like everything in the greenhouse, worked really well. But without that humidity, you can't do that. The plants won't tolerate the temperature. It's really good for PM.
Yeah, I was like, still follow that VPD. As you get hotter, that you got to catch up with humidity. You got to bring a hotter humidity in there too. Higher humidity. I think I said hotter.
It's mostly you're going to heat treat for PM as far as I know. Most of the pests of a short period of heat doesn't necessarily work. A lot of them can overwinter and tolerate heat both just fine.
And another like side effect of the heat treatment is a lot of pests get more active and they breed more in the hotter temperatures. So if you have a pest issue and you're also trying to use heat to get rid of the, say, powdery mildew, you might just exasperate the pests because the warmer temperatures just gets them rocking and rolling faster.
Right. Actually, it's a good point, or maybe a good time to bring up that point about beneficial bugs. So when you purchase them, make sure you look up the conditions that they can survive and conditions that they can use to breed in. Because if they're not able to breed in your environment, they will die quickly after their lifespan is over, and they won't do you any good anymore. So when you get certain bugs, you want to make sure you adjust your room to keep them alive, or buy the ones that will survive in your room already.
I agree.
Cheddar Bob, I don't agree with almost anything that Dragonfly Earth Medicine does.
Yeah, I like them a lot, but man, I don't like a lot of their things.
Just pay the money and take the class, and they'll give you a card and a certificate, and then you're cool.
No, there's the DEM certification is more complicated than that. You got to pay a lot of money.
No, I know. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing really well over there. They probably got lots of crystals.
Let's start up.
Feel bad for everyone.
Certification
for their money.
Charge crystals.
Hey, let's get the MBGS organic label. Just
There
send
you
me
go.
$1,000. I'll certify it if it's organic or not. Give you a T-shirt and a poster.
And 1 pound of crystal.
1 pound of crystal.
Don't forget good intentions.
I'm telling you, crystal wicking beds are the future.
You can get quartz by the truckload at your local garden supply store. Charge that stuff up, some sunlight, give it a little good intention, give yourself a nice little drainage area with some of that, some riverbed, some river stone. Get a lot of good minerals out of that stuff, if anything else.
I'm so high, I'm just fucking like lost, man.
I'm mostly just trying
We're
to
all over the place.
crack up. I don't really care where people spend their money, but I disagree with some of the premises of what they're doing.
Oh yeah, dude. As soon as I went to real talk. As soon as I went to Dragon Earthfly, I went to a talk and I had to pay an exorbitant amount to listen to him talk. But I liked a lot of things that they said, and it was all natural farming techniques mostly. Showed some really cool stuff, and they were just like really caring and loving people, just to be real. And but then when I go to their website and see the pricing on some of their products and the stuff that they're asking for, it's just like, okay, I see what this is really about.
So you don't need that certification to grow good stuff. You don't need it to do that method or to be clean or to do any of that stuff. So like,
I just tell people use good, better, best practices, right? Like,
to be fair, they do show everybody how to make everything that they have. It's just
yeah, and you can find all the stuff that they make online somewhere. Like a lot of the stuff that they're using, they're just adapting it from KNF practices, right? And you can find how to make that KNF sulfur spray on. You can watch a Korean guy make it on YouTube.
I love the kid.
Yeah, sorry. He's telling me
all
about his M&M.
Chris Trump has a lot of good videos on YouTube where that covered on how to make things. Like,
I really, yeah,
I liked his stuff.
I consider him like the top of anybody I know. I mean, other than the guy that he always refers to, Master
Cho.
Yeah. I consider Chris Trump pretty much the authority.
There's some really
good
made
it more accessible. Yeah.
Well, I think you'd find that most YouTubers or people that are on a camera talking to people that are listening to information have a similar opinion, right? All of us would rather not see people charge you for the same information that we would tell you right now, and that's, I guess, where that comes from.
There's some pretty good stuff from the University of Hawaii on YouTube too, because I believe they're the ones.
Give you real good. Well, that's who Chris Trump works with a lot. He's done all his stuff because his original farm was right down there in Hawaii. That's when he was talking about the success of when he took over the farm and it was a conventionally farmed, and then he started his KNF practices. That was all in Hawaii, which was.
Need to go back and watch those right before spring so we can get some work with some dandelions or something coming up real soon here.
Dude, I still have some dandelion jelly in my refrigerator, and
real soon.
Yeah, you made that last year, yeah, man.
So good. No, I didn't even make it.
Where'd you get it from?
I swiped it. I got that. That's my one thing I got in the divorce, man. I got that dandelion jelly. I love it, man. It's still good.
I stripped my yard of dandelion heads and made my brown sugar dandelion ferment on like May 15th of last year. Dandelions are already up and ready to go. And it's it's almost April. It's almost bicycle day. Holy shit, man! It's almost a full month earlier than last year that we already have a full season. full in bloom season.
I did do the very first mow of the season for me. I did do that.
Oh, me too, dude.
But I kept
I did that like a week and a half ago.
I kept my blade high. I set it high because I like to save the dandelions as much as possible at the beginning of the season, because that's the first food the bees really have. So I like to try to preserve the dandelions. I'm the weirdo that's.
Dude, I didn't think about that, man.
Yeah, I'm out there saving them at least at the beginning of the year. That's all they got. That's all they got. So, and actually, I should take a picture. I seen a fucking dandelion with a bee on it.
Should be.
So it made me smile.
You guys don't have like apple blossoms and dude, we got tons of apple blossoms,
dude.
Tulips,
I got a Bradford pear that's flowering out in the backyard.
Shit's wild right here right now. It's crazy how early everything's in bloom right now.
I actually went to there's a park really near me called Rod Mills, but they just blazed a huge trail through the forest, and they just put wood chips down for the trail, and I walked that. It was fucking beautiful in there, just walking through a forest that there's never a trail in before. So
that's like, cool as shit.
You can see the really old stuff, and then you can see the the new stuff where they blew through it. It was pretty interesting to just.
You'll be surprised how quickly that'll come together too, man. As long as people are using that trail, it'll stay sweet.
And the wildlife, there's like fucking birds all over, birds galore, just running around through there, and chipmunks. And so I'm going to take the dogs through there now. I found it pretty cool. And it's really nice and wide, so I don't think I have to worry about ticks and fleas and stuff. But I got them the medicine anyway. But that's my plan.
That's my other concern, Spartan, is if everything's flowering a month early this year, ticks going to be a month early. Are they going to be that much worse? Like, are they really coming out to play this year? Like,
out.
Yeah, dude, they're already out.
Because last year was the worst tick season I've ever experienced. Up until last year, I had never even experienced a tick on my person.
I need you to come over and check me for ticks.
I'm plucking them off the dog. I'm plucking them off of me. I'm at the shop. I'm finding them in the bathroom, on the towels. I'm finding them in the window screens. It's amazing. Inside the building, I'm finding these things.
Are you growing weeds inside of your house, Red?
You'd be amazed. I guess so, right?
Tall grasses.
It's tall grasses.
He probably has a room full of wheatgrass.
I got my
grass.
Would anyone be surprised?
It's funny you said. I was talking about getting a mill today, so that I'd like an actual like windmill style, wanting a good old fashioned windmill and gearing it up to like.
What are you, Don Quixote?
Yeah, I just want to crank down my own like grain flour, maybe some hemp seed or
grind your teeth down like that.
Red, do you need a mill or something?
Dude, have you ever eaten hemp seed? I've eaten hemp seed. Have you ever just eaten fucking, if you get spare seeds, you find one?
I eat my seeds, yeah. And one day I'm going to grow a big field of hemp, and I'm going to
they're like
crash
nutty.
out seed and mill that stuff up into some flour and have myself some hemp flour.
If shit goes bad, I'll just fucking seed out my plants and eat the seeds. I'll fucking survive off that.
I love them. They're good. It's actually a nut. Did you know that? It's
what it tastes like. It tastes just like a nut.
Yeah, it is. It's classified as a nut, and it has a nice, robust shell. You crack it open, you get that teeny, tiny little nut out of there. I'm getting the smoke the flaming bong signal.
Full of amino acids.
Blaze it, Red Leather. Got him.
I'm getting the smoke the flaming bong signal. There are morels out in the woods, so look for those as well when you're out there.
Yeah, I don't wish we were getting more rain, but I feel like if we had just a couple more rainy days, they would definitely.
Bro, it's supposed to snow like Wednesday, man.
Dude, it's killing me.
Man.
I saw the lobster was out mushroom hunting.
Yeah, but it'll be like 70 degrees and snow in Scobo. Like 70 degrees. It's Michigan. No. 70 degrees. The snow will be coming down. It'll just casually melt.
I've seen some weird ass weather in this state, but I haven't seen that one in my
Red's on good drugs, man.
That good. Yeah. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for riding through all this with us. I hope you guys are having a good night and able to hang a little bit longer. We got about a half hour left. If anybody has any more questions, you want to drop them in the chat, we'll take a swing at them.
Really good one.
Someone had a question
about finding beneficial insects. Where do we get them from? And I think that's a good one to cover on the show always. Nature's Good Guys, Arbico, Organics, right? And then Copert Copper.
Yep.
Koppert.
Or here in Michigan, what's this? The big
Isn't it Copert?
Grow Green? Is it?
Grow Green? Yeah, Grow Green. You can get
Grow Green. I think you can order through them too. I think.
Yeah, I would say Google search for your closest insectary because you're going to have usually the most reliable
you gotta be
numbers.
Careful. A lot of them won't fuck with you unless you get a really big order, though. If you go direct to the insectary.
Yeah. I do like Arbico, and when I do order from Arbico, I usually go for like a general predator. I like to get like the green lace wings on hanging cards. Those are pretty good.
I use Arbico. I like Arbico. I've never had a problem. I use their nematodes and their Swirsky sachets. And
the one time I did have a problem, they all you got to do is send them a little video, and they'll send you out. They'll send you out a new order right away.
That's who I use. I use Arbico for my home grow too. And then we use Copert or whatever it's called at work.
We need to talk to somebody from there and get to the bottom of that pronunciation business.
Somebody corrected me on another show, and I totally already forgot what the actual.
I think Matthew said it's Copper.
Yeah, Copper. I think it was Matthew.
If anybody would know, I'm inclined to believe.
I thought Stabby had told us that it was Copert or Copper or one of those at one of our shows. Just maybe
Stabby said something smart.
4 or 5 so
I don't know.
Weeks ago. Stabby's muted, so I think that he's maybe stepped away at the moment.
Okay, so sorry. There he is. I was here. I'm sorry. I was distracted by my kids, so I didn't hear anything.
Oh no, man, that's a good way to be distracted. I'm glad you're actually distracted by your kids.
Yeah.
Arbico is an insectary, Cheddar Bob.
I have a question in chat. Dr. U was saying he's setting up SIP container, city pickers, and he can't get a quality bag soil. What recipe would I recommend? I would say the Coots recipe, man. It's really versatile. You can plug in whatever's available, right? So
yeah, like you can build your own just with peat from the big box store, or what I would suggest is look for a local landscaping company and see if you can get a truckload of good soil. Like a lot of times landscaping companies will have good garden soil that they sell, and they'll even keep it warehoused.
So does it have it's pre-amended?
How much is a truckload of garden of soil?
I just fuck wouldn't do that myself. I'm sorry, I wouldn't, because I don't know what the fuck that is. You know,
I wanted to buy a truckload of it so that I could level my yard out. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some to fill my raised beds with outside.
Oh, you can get it sorted out. Yeah, raised bed.
For vegetable, yeah, but they're talking about for filling their fucking pots to grow weed.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, well, so cook it.
Yeah.
I mean, put it in a big pile and frickin'
or just fucking do the easy Coots mix, man. Get whatever you got available, peat or cocoa. That's your first third. Your second third is aeration. So lots of options there. Perlite, pumice, rice hulls, and then
lava rock.
Yep, and then I'm high as fucking can't remember what's the third. Oh, composts. So
earthworm castings.
Yeah, so you could do worm castings. You could do
manure.
That's really all you need. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I'm curious where they are. If they can't get a bag soil. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well, probably just one
of be out of the country. Maybe
the Major General says $4.50 a yard.
There's places like Sunlight Supply and stuff like that. They're the ones that supply most of.
Yeah, Roots 303 is a pretty decent bag soil. That's available.
I mean, you can usually find Ocean Forest at Home Depot. You can grow plants in that.
Yeah, Ocean Forest.
You'd have to lighten that stuff up though if you go with.
Dr. Hughes says raised beds is one thing, my flower tents is another. Yeah, I can get it. Yeah.
I popped 70 autos in Ocean Forest without lightning, and it worked just fine.
Dude, the garage full of a whole pallet of that shit was pretty fucking cool, man. There's a lot of shit.
Sir.
If you need more help,
that sounds like a decent amount.
If you're going to go with a Coots mix and you have more questions, just go ahead and DM me. There's a few more things too, minerals and stuff. But I don't want to take it.
Jay Allen says the YouTube channel says it's upper.
You know what I would say to just help Spartan real quick is I would jump on two things. I would throw
That's the one we didn't even say.
I would throw some basalt in there with that, and I would throw some gypsum right in there too.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
maybe some BioLive.
There's. Are we gonna go through it then?
We're there, fucking man. We're there. We're already dropping it.
I want to go back to Green Gorilla's question though, because that was way back about the RF on the ballast. And from my understanding, your frequencies coming off the ballast are mostly
magnetic.
It can interfere. It's the magnetic ballast. I've had this personally happen.
Well, you can get off digital. You can get off digital if you're if you have a really long run on between your ballast and your bulbs, because you're gonna get all of, I don't know, whatever it's going on with that distance on the. So that's kind of one of the reasons that Nanolux and Gavita and all those others have started mounting the bulbs pretty much to the ballast. The hoods are pretty much mounted to the ballast, and they almost eliminate that cord. So you might get a little bit of RF. Usually what you are going to get, I'm assuming you're coming from a red state, and that's why you're asking this question. But,
right.
What you are going to get is you're going to get a big heat sink coming off of that. And if you're getting a big heat sink, then your best bet is to insulate the exterior of your walls or your space with some infrared resistant material, such as IR insulation.
We're going quickly into late
sessions. Quick, dude. Get the hats.
IR insulation. Wrap your head in some.
Get your hats out.
Get the hats out.
You can it's as simple as going to like your box store and getting it looks like
Reynolds
bubble wrap,
or you can get the Walmart
no
brands.
man, it looks like bubble wrap. You get the commercial stuff, you get the good stuff. It looks like bubble wrap.
It's what you wrap around your hot water heater and shit.
This is actual infrared barrier. This will protect your space from sunlight and all kinds of stuff. It'll cool your shit down 10 degrees. Like if you put this stuff on even in your walls inside your home are probably getting heated up. If you don't have some kind of an infrared barrier going on, you're going to thermally heat up everything. Everything thermally heats from the sun. And vice versa from the inside of your room, it thermally can be seen from a detecting device. So tinfoil, yeah, it'll work, but I mean, it's not going to work as much as the IR specifically. That bubble wrap has a layer of insulated air in between two layers.
Is it Reflectex West Sea?
Of reflective material. So you have two layers of reflective mylar material with a layer of bubble insulation air in between. So it kind of adds and it's cheap, and it comes in like 3 and 4 foot rolls. And you can roll it out and you roll it across your ceiling. You can roll it on the inside of your room just as reflective material if you want to reflect. I prefer white, but reflective materials it can be used for.
Red, the first cannabis plant I ever grew was in a space bucket that I lined with that double mylar bubble wrap stuff.
There you go,
dude. I bet it stayed so nice and cool and did a great job too.
I actually had to get it the fuck out of there because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, wow, this thing's gonna outgrow this bucket real fast.
Too fast.
Jay Snidestone in chat says, quote, "It's as simple as," and then proceeds to give a novel's worth of detailed steps. I love red.
This is bubble wrap. It is as simple as silver.
Simple as foil bubble wrap.
Silver bubble wrap. Down
imagine if he
20,
said it like that and it took 5 seconds.
Down aisle 20.
We would wonder where red was.
Store.
The whole show would be full of dead air.
Red can never say anything in 5 seconds. No way.
No way.
I can't even say the word 5 seconds.
Baby, come back.
You want to the history of 5 seconds? Let's talk about that tomorrow on the late
time. Obligatory.
History of 5 seconds.
All right, let me get to one of the grow questions real quick before we get too out of hand here. Blue Kiss Gardens asks, what newts do you use in the Frugal Forest system? And we like to use Down to Earth's BioLive and Biofish for your main meat potatoes. But we have gypsum and basalt and stuff like that we use at different times also.
Well, the nice thing on those is something like basalt and shit. It takes a while to break down, and it's not something you have to consistently add every single time. It's just when you're building. But things like the BioLive, and I seen that Spartan was talking about, him, and my favorite topic I love going back to is the understanding that as I'm pulling weight out of the bed in the form of buds, that's depleting some source of what I've been using to grow that plant, and I need to reinvent it. I need to put things. Yeah, you have to keep putting things back in, and just doing drop and chops and shit isn't going to be enough in the long run. And it really is wacky when you start off wrong and you're trying to re-add things later on.
It really gets you going. Like if you're one of the growers that has a bed like that, you'll sit up at night and think like, okay, that mix that I threw in last year had some green sand in it, so that's probably available now.
Love that.
And I just top dressed a bunch of shit. Am I gonna have too much nitrogen? Blah blah blah.
Well, the running joke abolished was how shitty. Like in the beginning when I started the bed with like reused soil and shit that was synthetics and worked its way out and everything. Yeah, I was getting bud, but it was a hell of a come down coming from, being successful in 7-gallon, pots and synthetics. And it, when I met up with you guys, I'd been doing it for like a year, and every, couple of runs, I'd be like, "Ooh, guys, it's better." And we would get together and we would smoke, and you would say, "Hey, it actually is fucking better, man." Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of the soil itself. I want to call it like marinating. It's not cooking, because it's just everything takes time to break down and get all into sorted out.
Just getting your microbial.
See, Cheddar Bob is on year 411 cycle. Cheers, Bob.
Until you see how good it is when you switch to Jacks, dude. It's gonna be.
If I wasn't doing what I was doing right now, I would be really torn whether I would do Jacks or Nectar. I'll be honest with you, because I've been really impressed with everybody's smoke that I get from those.
Nectar is amazing.
Nectar's expensive. It's good though.
It is, but I enjoy the smoke that people have had with that.
Scubo, you need to come back through while I have a strain.
Call me, baby.
Plethora. The varieties are wide, I believe, at the moment.
Really?
Decent. They have like 5 or 6 varieties.
Somebody gets to hang out with Red.
I'm doing the Birdman hands here. That's because I don't bug him for clones.
Have you ever used any of the Nectar stuff?
Have I? No. I ran
you
general hydroponics for a long time.
You can hit up what is it? Oregon's Constant Grower or Oregon. It's OCG fam, whatever the fuck it. But you can hit them up and they'll send you a free sample case with like
pay for shipping.
Yep. I did that and I bought some of the supplementals. Honestly, man, the only thing I really liked out of the whole line was that Herculean Harvest, the liquid calcium stuff. That stuff is fucking bomb. But the rest of the line, maybe it was, maybe I didn't get the learning curve down in the sample kit and the extra bottles that I bought or whatever. But like, I fucked some plants up with that Kraken, and just I don't know. I didn't really care for it, and like I wasn't seeing wow results out of what I was doing versus I switched from NPK Industries, their raw nutrients, the powder stuff. I was using that, and I switched to the Nectar stuff, and I was like, okay, it's it's decent, but I'm sure I could have done better with it.
Yeah, you won't really see.
But it definitely fucking reeks. It stinks so bad.
You really won't see the full benefit out of Nectar until you get like
it's working when it stinks.
Advanced line, and you master their Bloom Chaos, which is their calcium facilitator. And that's
I had some of that stuff, and the way they talk about it, like I was so afraid to even fucking use it, dude. Like I used it like twice, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to fuck up my plants. So like I got 90% of a bottle still.
I wonder if they ever released how that was made, because like back in the day, the scientist that helped Scott make it called it the secret ingredient gamma.
Yeah, but like they talk about it like you're handling some loaded gun.
Really can. You can make your plant go deficient in a night with that stuff if you don't use it right. It's that strong. It'll make your plant starve for fucking calcium.
Damn, Dank Man, Dan called you shabby.
Listen to shabby.
Hey, I'm not trying to knock the product or anything, and I totally admit that I may not have been using it right. I was, I did my best with it, and I didn't see amazing results. So hey, I moved on. I actually moved on to like using totally organic and worm castings and all that.
But they do probably have the best sample kit in the game. Like, it's not a sample bottle. They send you 6 real bottles.
They do. They're really big bottles.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like a full setup for a couple grows at least on a home level.
Dan says that calling you shabby was an accident.
I know it was, but it was so funny. I had
care.
to make the remark.
I grow mids, whatever.
No, dude.
Is that with an S or a Z though? There's a distinction.
We're gonna have to call him shabby now.
What was it?
Not too shabby.
Yeah, whatever. All I care about is what my co-host here has to say.
Or these M&Ms.
Yeah, he's more chatty than Red.
No, that's saying something.
That is saying something. So, Red, we have 15 more minutes. Do you want to tell people kind of what they're in for Polarity tonight?
Oh, do I? Oh boy, you're gonna give me the microphone right now?
Yeah, just for 10 minutes or less.
10 minutes or less. Yeah, guys. So I guess I could talk about a little bit on this show. If you feel like tuning on into Polarity Science, I'm gonna get into a little bit of detail on Sir Albert Hoffman. It was on this day. Tune in later to get dates and times and all that, but basically good old Hoffman 25 was invented. We'll get into exact details on acronyms and the whole nine on the show, but I don't want to get too far into detail on acronyms and things on the show just in case any bans or anything like that happens. But yeah, it's Bicycle Day tomorrow. We'll get into what Bicycle Day is. We'll get into maybe the the odds and ends of it, the history behind it. We'll definitely talk about Mr. Albert Hoffman, talk about how the man lived to be about 102 years old, believe it or not. He didn't pass away until about 2008 to when he actually spoke and had a whole TED talk basically, and they did a whole thing on his 100th birthday. And then he had a whole speech, and I don't know, he probably spoke for about a good hour or something like that. And they say that is now officially a new psychedelic renaissance. I've kind of felt that way for maybe the last decade or so.
Dude, I think so.
I think that it's definitely coming to a
people are more open to it.
We're cresting up right now.
You haven't heard more about that sort of thing since
I send shit to Red almost every other day, man.
And I love it. Whenever I'm able to get a chance to take a look at it, it's amazing like how much
it's not just the same articles over and over.
No, it's not. And well, here's the thing. So let me talk a little bit about, for those that are just tuning in or maybe. So I started a channel called Polarity Science on Sunday nights here after the Michigan Bros Grow Show. I go live roughly around 11:30, and I do a show called on my show Polarity Science on my channel Polarity Science. I do a show called Behind the Veil.
I put a link in the chat.
Thank you, Sequence. Appreciate it.
I seen it.
Toss a couple links in there, and feel free to jump on over there, like, subscribe. I've got 2 episodes down so far, but basically running a harm reduction channel due to this rise in interest, rise in information. I'm sorry, a rise in interest. There just needs to be a little bit more information, similar to kind of what's going on with cannabis. There's a lot of bro science available. There's a lot of misinformation in cannabis. There's a lot of information that kind of can harm people. So in the same respect, within the plant medicine realm, a lot more people are getting interested in plant medicines. This includes psilocybin. This includes cactus medicines, ayahuasca medicines, dimethyltryptamine medicines, lysergamides. The list goes on, and research chemicals can be involved in all kinds of, right now, I believe the FDA has approved ketamine trials. I'm pretty sure Johnson & Johnson has like a nasal spray for ketamine, and this stuff is going on. So with all this newfound interest comes availability, comes people experimenting, and Polarity Science and Behind the Veil right now is basically a harm reduction source. I'm trying to just get the ball rolling in conversation, not necessarily trying to influence anybody to do drugs or anything like that, but rather just keep everybody safe and it inform some people on some knowledge, you know, maybe give some experience.
Yeah, dude. If stuff is going to start to be legal, people need a source.
As people
of
are coming
information.
online, right? The people are coming online and they're like, I hear about this and people are telling me things, but you know, should I dive right in and should I do this, you know, Terrence McKenna style
How do I drop
dose,
the
or
SID?
even talking about microdose, even if
should I just
go
be
micro
just microdose this?
Can I boof
should you do
mushrooms?
it daily?
Yeah,
should
yeah,
you
my
boof
toe in the
them?
water, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
just
you can
blood
be
chugging
a, are you
everything
a
nowadays.
mushroom butt chugger,
Yeah,
crystal
like
butt chugger.
big
Have you guys
questions
heard
to
of
be
that?
answered.
Corn stuff, that fake, speaking of mushrooms, that fake mushroom protein that they have now in the stores, it's supposed to be really good.
No.
I haven't. But
Oh,
I'm
no,
interested.
but I got a
Have
gummy
you heard of it,
that
Red?
has, like a powder in it.
I haven't heard of it. No,
I don't
They're
understand
using
why I would want
not a
instead
corn.
of soy now, they're using it's called mycoprotein.
I
And
can.
there's this new brand called Corn, and it's QUORN.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And now
I
they're
thought it
making
was like the band with a K, man. We were gonna rock out.
makes
yeah.
sense because
Fucking-
mushrooms
The
are
brand
very
is
with the
corn.
K.
The brand is
Some
corn, and they're using a
synthetic
micro,
shit.
a
What a
myco
boomer.
powder. And
Well,
yeah,
somehow they're
I can
making
totally.
mushrooms taste like chicken. I don't know.
That's
Crazy.
the
as
new
good as
wave.
they are. I
Yeah,
don't know why
like
people want to
chicken.
change the taste.
yeah.
They're
The
fine.
mycology wave is not. That's the new superfood. You know, the
Yep.
mushrooms are totally the new
Microgreens.
New kale. The mushrooms are the new kale.
Everybody's
Yeah,
talking about
sure.
mud water, the new coffee replacement.
Where can you find that? Is that
Yeah.
on cornhub.com?
Corn.
Yes.
Thank you, Stabby.
Oh,
my
big
God.
pumpmus.
Dude, I like that. That was good.
And I killed the show with that joke.
No, dude.
So
That was
funny.
that
Wah,
was
wah,
great.
wah.
I want to get into growing some mushrooms, though. I want to set up a tub. But I'm very inexperienced myself. Like, I've only ever done microdoses. So, I don't know.
And-
Oh, Stabby on a macro would be.
You know, I'd love to. I want to make sure that
I
doesn't.
feel like I need a trip sitter, man.
notice. Yeah, you may. You know,
You never know. It's not a sign
I-
of weakness
I might
either. It's
for
just a sign of
macro,
the
I think.
unknown, man.
I
Yeah,
haven't been
'cause
able to
I don't know.
macrodose in
I
a
don't know.
decade.
I don't know how I'm going to react. And I don't think that I'm going to get like violent or anything, but I also don't want to say like hurtful things to people or, you know, get in a bad space or, you know, I want to make sure that someone's there to like keep me in check and make sure that
Exactly.
my ego
You have to have a
doesn't
touchstone,
get too
man.
big.
Well, I would just
You're
advise
constant,
you to
bro.
follow that feeling and do that because you want to be in the most comfortable state when you do that. I was the opposite. I'd rather be by myself. I'd rather be able to just not worry about somebody fucking looking at me and you know what I mean. I'd rather just be able to.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Just get a scary poster. and
Or with if it was, I guess it was a
scary
really,
poster.
I guess it was a really good friend,
really
somebody you
dark-
trusted, it'd be
dark-
cool, you know.
Yeah.
Death metal and, you know.
But I don't know if I'd want to go super deep, you know what I mean, with somebody there.
Stephen King's It.
We all flow down here. Sequence.
I've done both. It's all fun.
If it was if it was an experience, like if you were going to like a concert or watch a movie, yeah, 100%. But like, if you were just like sitting across from each other, staring at each other, and going fucking real deep, yeah, I don't know if I would be able to
Staring
do
in my
about that.
eyes.
Cheddar Bob talking about salvia and DMT. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Have you seen the salvia videos? of People just climbing out their like
That's-
windows and shit like that.
It's
Like,
enough to make you not ever
Maybe come back.
I mean, I don't understand why anybody
Wild.
want
Just
to
not
even
interested
try.
in doing it.
wild.
Exactly.
I've never done that potent of salvia, but I tried salvia prior to the whole salvia YouTube phenomenon that kind of occurred. But like, yeah, it's intense. Like, there's a reason that you want a trip sitter and some of these entheogens that can cause heavy experiences, you know, challenging experiences. They can be challenging. That's for sure.
You ever do that
DMT.
ayahuasca?
Where's the Joe Rogan? Yeah, the DMT, right? Me and Painted Lady are thinking ahead.
Well, that's two different things, right?
Yeah, like DMT would be more attractive to me because it's like
You're not trying to
way
drink that down.
shorter. Yeah, ayahuasca it's like fucking
I'm drawn to the
purging at the
longer
same time as the
but
like
not
a
the purge.
fucking
Yeah, man.
I would
hour
rather
long.
do the ayahuasca because that's more
Yeah.
natural shit, and that's like a spiritual
Oh,
experience.
it's natural because you'll be fucking shitting all over yourself.
God.
that- that's what turns me off
interested in the.
of
I'm not
cactus
so much
medicine.
interested in the
Yeah.
purging, more so the like resetting
the
my
bell.
my ego or whatever.
Yes. And if you like this conversation and you want to see where it goes, make sure you tune in on Polarity Science tonight.
Well, speaking of all these, kind of the reason, like, well, let's see here. You have to have a ton of you have to have like a whole cup of ayahuasca, so you're drinking this brew. You have to have like with like mescaline. Yeah. With mushrooms, you gotta have like 5 grams of these mushrooms or 3 grams of these mushrooms, you get bubble guts, with all these other. So talk about lysergamides of something with, you need maybe 50 micrograms of a substance, very, very little chance of getting like overwhelmingly, intoxicated. You're going to get, it's going to have a psychoactive
It's going to be unpleasant,
reaction
man.
to you, but you're not going to have like an intoxication.
It's not unpleasant.
But to that respect, I mean, very little like illness comes off of those, and duration is much longer. So tune into the Polarity Science channel Behind the Veil tonight, and we're going to talk about lysergamides and Bicycle Day and that whole thing that happened about, I don't know.
Look at Red bringing it back with 5 minutes left to go. Very well done, sir. Hitting your
nice
time
job.
spots and everything.
10 minutes
thanks for giving me the option and the opportunity. I appreciate it.
You made a big fan of your show, and Jay Wire in the chat. They didn't know that your Polarity show existed, and now they're very, very interested.
Oh, awesome.
If it's interested, I'm going to share the link again in the chat right here.
Please do.
Check out Red at Polarity.
Teamwork and dreamwork.
30. He's the man. Red put me on a journey one time, and it was a glorious time.
Hurt Nell Burton says mushroom tinctures are the way to go. I would really like to look into that myself. I would love to be able to cultivate my own. And then since I already work with tinctures and cannabis, it would really be great for me to be able to work that into the system.
I definitely want to get in that realm Behind the Veil as well. And I want to invite like Abolished on, and I want to invite Raptor on, and I want to get a lot of these guys. Tanasi, I hope the Tanasi, if you're
Myconauts, is that what you call the
Myconauts? Yeah, I like that.
I'm pretty sure that's
instead
the term
of Psychonauts. Yeah, Myconauts.
I like that one. Yeah, I want to get a whole band of Myconauts together, and I'd like to talk mycology, specifically. Maybe we can do it on Behind the Veil. I mean, it sounds like a proper show for that. But yeah, I'd like to do that maybe like once a month or something, and actually get a band of and discuss mycology, discuss maybe tincture making, or ways of processing that. We don't necessarily have to it has to be psilocybin, it can be lion's mane or some of these synergistic medicinal mushrooms, some of these other things.
Well, you might have to do your show in that aspect, like as an educational lion's mane type of show, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
For YouTube.
Right. Yeah, totally.
But everything applies all the same.
Health medicine,
Right. I can maybe help you look into the stuff, what you can and can't say, and what you can and can't write in your titles without getting strikes.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's important. You're getting into a realm of interesting territory.
I am, and I do want to make sure that I'm not trying to suggest that anybody uses any substance. We are merely trying to prevent harm on this channel and on my channel.
Education.
And anywhere. We're trying to educate. We're only trying to discuss experiences that we may have had, and in that way that other people can educate themselves.
It's important. Like you said, as the laws are opening up and people are going to be trying these sorts of things, they need to have education on the topic. Kingfisher, I'll have to get with Porch Farmer and see who he decided is the winner of the dab rig and the banger. I noticed
he replied on the comment. I think he said something about get a hold of my DM. So I think that was his decision, I'm assuming.
Okay. I'll look for it.
If you missed out on that one, we got a whole month of giveaways coming up because we really appreciate you, Gokies.
Yeah, and I just want to throw it out there again before the end of the show here. Check out the Irie Army Discord.
Bro show.
Yeah, if you want to join in on that Pringles can challenge.
Lucas is requesting the link again, Sequence.
The link to Red's show?
Just the channel we can link right now, and you'll just have to be subscribed and have notifications turned on. So
no, it's on. He's got a premiere.
It's already got a premiere.
I showed him how to make a show.
Okay.
Red knows what he's doing.
10:59.
Hold on. Red's got it figured out. This link goes right to his show. Click on this. You'll be able to see Red in half an hour. Red's the man. He just doesn't come and hang out with me anymore, and it hurts my feelings.
I got it. I ended up getting a job, guys, and it just kind of takes up a little bit of my time. But I swear,
I don't even get it. Why do you have to have a real life?
I know, it's so wild.
You can't be my friend anymore.
We're all still
parties,
friends, and it's almost summertime, and hey, with this job, I also get time off.
He also gets free Australian candies from time to time that he comes through with on the late side.
Yeah, right. I wish it was free, man. I gotta go.
Okay, discount, bargain candy.
I gotta go to Lowe's to get those things, or I gotta go to the place where I get the rest of my bougie chocolate and tea from.
Well, anyway, thank you everyone for watching. It's 11. Please check out our sponsors, Easy Swap Pots, 2020 Mendocino State Genetics. They're running a sale, half off all their genetics if you have a med card. It's really good shit. Check out Red in half an hour. Check out Caribou
Crystal
tomorrow at 11. Later, guys.